Man, that's really fucked up, bro. They're people too. You know that, right? You know they're people, right?
What?
Anyways,
who are we talking about? Who are you saying that I'm hurtful towards and hateful against this time? Because it's not true.
I don't know. I was just trying to get you in a gotcha moment.
I can mention the Ferengi.
Bro, they're not fucking people, first of all. But okay, all right. The Ferengi are literally pieces of fucking garbage. They're galactic pieces of fucking shit.
Says who?
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Multitap, everyone. Episode 21. Multitap is our weekly nerd culture, mainly gaming though, podcast that you can listen to every Monday on your favorite podcast services. If you wanted to get the podcast 3 days early and show some support for the show, as well as gain a few extra perks in the meantime, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan mode is what you can gain at our Patreon, I believe. Right? Legally, can I say that? Because it doesn't exist.
We can give that to people?
Legally, I think
we can give them tiers of Super Saiyan?
I think legally, I have to tell you, I'm not sure we can do that. Just like how Red Bull got sued because
the
dude
wings,
didn't grow wings.
Yeah.
So they had to put
wings.
Wings. So fucking stupid.
Yeah. But, hey, man.
God.
He pulled a...
Game the system.
Pulled a quick one on him.
Oh, bro. It was fucking brilliant. I applaud that level of fuckery.
I mean, I just drank Red Bull, so I wonder if I will get wings. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Oh, man.
I think they even changed the commercials to stop having people grow wings now.
I don't know. I fucking opened up Instagram so I could take a story, and it immediately went to that fucking Joe Biden zombie thumbnail.
What? Joe Biden zombie thumbnail?
Yeah, remember we were saying how the fucking election thumbnails for the ads on YouTube were all clickbaity? I
haven't seen that one. What's that one?
You haven't seen that one? Oh, holy shit. Okay, hold on. Let me take this live real quick because we are, baby. We are no. This is not a live, it's a story.
Yeah, it's a story, but we are live, but not live. Yeah.
Someone's gonna shit on us one day because we're using a laptop.
Yeah, if they can fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the hustle, man.
Yeah. So let me show you this this image. It is fucking beautiful.
The image of the gods.
That one right there. Yeah.
That picture they got is perfect.
A zombie uprising.
Man.
It's got I didn't know there was a zombie emoji. There might not be. It's got the fucking horror face emoji.
No, there isn't a zombie
and then the
emoji.
ghost
I think.
emoji.
Hold on. Now I want to check because now I'm curious. You've raised my curiosities.
Yeah. So yeah, you can head on over to patreon.com/GamesTechMM, where tiers start at just $1 a month. And it really does help. We are supported
there are zombies.
Solely by you. I think we're gonna in the regular the free feeds, I think we're gonna start running some ads. But that'll probably be in the next two weeks or so. So we'll see how that goes. We have a couple fucking things we need to look at. I am your humble host, Enzo. Joining me today is your co-host with the most, BDB, Bruno.
What up?
Nothing much, man. How have you been?
Kind of just regular.
You surviving the hellscape?
We can say that. I'm just waiting for the apocalypse to officially start so that things can start going.
We're going to swing swords like Conan. That's what's going to happen.
Yep. It's confirmed.
In the words of the prophetic 50 Cent.
Oh, yes. Our Messiah.
I don't know if I'd go that far, even in a joke. He's just 50 Cent.
Would you say that to him if you saw him right in front of you?
Curtis Jackson. Yeah. What do you have to be scared of 50 about?
I don't know. He seems like he's a big dude.
Yeah, but he's got like the legwork of a mutual friend of ours. Yeah, or at least back in the day. I don't know what he's like now.
I got you. I think you even told me once that like 50 doesn't really like act on anything, like basically all bark no bite type shit. Was it you who told me that? Probably.
I don't know.
I don't
He
know if that's true.
controlled Ja Rule pretty well.
Oh yeah,
So that was cool.
yeah. He does a great job of doing that. Every time I see that there's a new one like that, he does something different with it. Or anytime that story gets like revamped with whatever he's done recently, I love it.
Yeah,
What's funny is like I was not paying attention to when they had beef and like any of that shit. I just know what it is now because when it was going on, I was young as shit and didn't pay attention to anything at all. So I only know about it now, looking back. So it's still funny though because, you know, the first time I remember, I guess I can fully remember people really shitting on Ja Rule was when he did like that music festival thing on the island or whatever that was fucking called.
The fire?
Yeah. And that shit was like god awful. There was a whole documentary on it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, they sold Fire as a luxury resort for rich kids, right?
Yeah.
And some people paid upwards of $10,000 to stay at this resort. That ended up being like worse than a refugee camp.
Yeah, I saw some of the
country.
like pictures and videos and stuff, but yikes. That was the first time I ever remember hearing the name Ja Rule, like in a bad sense, because beforehand I just never paid attention.
Yeah.
I've of course heard the name in like some Eminem songs whenever that stuff was going on, but I never thought anything of it.
I don't know how much Ja Rule had to do with that. I think it was one of the sleazy fuck boys that put it together.
Okay.
The business fuck boys in suits. Is there
fuck boys in suits?
Fuck boys in suits. Dude, whenever I put on a suit, I immediately turn into a fuck boy.
I've seen it.
It's like 3-piece
matching. That's why I'm glad you don't wear your suits anymore. Although they wear some nice suits sometimes.
Dude, I
remember your fuchsia shirt.
Everything.
Remember your fuchsia shirt?
Yes,
you still have it, I
do.
think, do you?
I think I got rid of a lot of them.
Yeah.
Just because I don't really wear suits anymore. So, but yeah, 3-piece, bro. The watch match.
I like wearing suits to a certain extent, and I think I look really nice in a suit.
I fucking hate wearing them,
but I can't wear them for too long because they're so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, props to whoever puts one on every single day for work.
It was a bitch.
Yeah, that just... Especially a 3-piece?
Yeah,
that sounds even worse.
I mean, it was... There was a reason why whenever you're in any sort of corporate job, and this is just like a fucking tip for anyone, how you present yourself, your presentation sells you on whether or not you're in control. And I want it to be at all times.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. Hey, mess with your cord a little bit. Just pull it in. Yeah, up, push up a little bit. And back. There we go.
No.
So there were people that like, look, suits can be really cheap, especially if you're like buying your shirts often, which you're going to need to do. Just buy cheap shirts often. I did not, because I got the ones with the cufflinks, and fucking I had metal, I don't know what they're called, but they go into your collar to make the collar not fold.
Oh yeah,
and
okay.
I had people that I would work with who were superiors to me, who like their collar was folding in, their clothes were just like their suit was too big. You can go to like a local tailor and get that shit taken care of. I did most of my shit myself, but the more...
You never had a suit tailor-made for you?
No, bro. Tailor-made suits are fucking expensive.
Oh, I believe it.
Tailor-made suits, for a decent quality tailor-made suit, you're gonna be spending like $5-6 at least. At least. I know there's someone who's gonna be like, no, bro, you can get one for like $253. That's not a good tailor-made suit, fam. That is, you're wearing it once to a wedding and it's probably gonna rip.
Good
but
to know.
Yeah, so you can
I don't think
get
I'll ever need one.
you can get some good shit. But yeah, I mean, really dead ass. The second I put that suit on, man, fuck boy. It's like Batman,
Oh yeah.
but with fuck boys.
I think
boy
Batman,
status.
whenever he takes the suit off, is when he becomes a fuck boy. When he's Bruce Wayne, because he's got to keep the act up.
That's interesting. So it's Batman when he takes his suit off.
Yeah.
Huh,
Bruce Wayne is
okay.
a fuck boy. Batman
Yeah.
is Batman.
Huh.
He just ruins childhoods.
Why do we get on suits?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. So the Fire Festival was a shit show.
Indeed.
Haha.
How about games? Talk about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, 50 Cent had a game. We were talking about Ja Rule, his mortal fucking enemy. If you've never played Bulletproof or Blood in the Sand,
Why didn't he
you're
ever just
missing out.
make Ja Rule the villain in his video game? Well, I guess then he'd have to pay him money for likeness. Yeah, and then that's
Yeah, he'd have to
Yeah.
collaborate with him.
fair enough.
There was like heavy beef there for a little bit.
Just make a character model that's slightly different enough to where you don't have to pay him, and then name him Raw Jewel.
No,
Easy
'cause
fix.
you can still sue for that. Yeah, it's where like it's close enough.
Okay.
Because you could sue based on like some slander bullshit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
And because he's not a fictional character. So that's applicable towards fictional characters in the case of like Family Guy and Simpsons.
Yeah.
The Simpsons, infamously, I think Chewbacca. Was it Chewbacca?
What about Chewbacca?
The Simpsons or South Park used some sort of likeness. I think it was Chewbacca's. And I think 20th Century was trying to sue or some shit like that.
Well,
Maybe
then it would have
Lucas
had
was.
to. It would have had to been probably South Park then, because Fox owns Simpsons.
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, they came up with this law at the Supreme Court that if you changed it enough and parodied, then it
Okay.
didn't matter. But you can't do that for real people. There's a
Just fictional.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Anyways, before we get into what we want to talk about, typically we go over our what the fuck we've been playing and all that good shit. So what have you been consuming other than dicks?
I feel like that joke's just gonna keep going until you run it into the fucking ground. But anyways,
I'm going to incinerate that horse
what?
that has been beat the
Okay.
yeah, there we go.
I was not sure where that was going at first, but I got you.
Just like you. I'm gonna make it disappear like you did those cocks, those glizzies down your.
I just got done playing Ghost of
Gobbling
Tsushima
gizzard.
Legends before we started this. That was pretty fun playing some survival. Played earlier
I still
today
haven't played it.
I know you need to get on, man. We can get a whole squad going. They have raids. The raids are released. We just need to level up and we can
I'm
do
really
raids.
trying to get nice with Rocket League.
You don't even play that because we get on that and you're not on.
Yeah, but like I saved some tutorials that taught me some ultimate shit.
It ain't gonna matter if you don't fucking play
Taught
the
me
game.
some ultimate shit.
You don't play, so it doesn't matter. Play the game with us. We are on constantly.
So, Legends.
Yes, Legends. And I was playing earlier. I played with this one squad that was fucking terrible. To be fair, we were all playing a samurai though. No, you can't, and it's not like I can choose what they play as, of course. And
Yeah, but you
it
can
doesn't-
choose the stance, right?
Yeah, the stance, but also like the ability. So like no one on the team can heal the whole squad. That ability is for like the Ronin. You can self heal, of course, but like when everyone's basically a tank class, it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Which it's a little less like that because the classes are mostly similar with the fighting. Because it's, everyone gets the bow, everyone gets a sword. You get your different stances depending. For the most part, everyone has the same chance to get the same throwables and charms. It's really just like the main abilities, like the super ability.
Do they change any abilities up?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, are there any abilities in Legends that aren't in the base game?
Yeah, I think so. I think the ultimates for each class none of them are in the game, because the samurai one might be in the game, but that's because you play as a samurai. I think the samurai, if you're just trying to play something that's super similar to the main experience of Ghost, go for the samurai, because it's basically all those. The hunter, I think it's their ultimate ability. It like does this thing where you just target. You can do up to 3 targets, unless I think there's an upgrade for it, and then you just press the trigger and it like one shots all of them.
Huh.
The Ronin is I think it's the heal or the revive. I don't remember. I haven't unlocked it yet. And then the assassin is disappear. I think it like lets you disappear in like a poisonous cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone around gets poison damage, and then you disappear so you can get a quick assassination. But
So on some Assassin's Creed shit.
basically,
Got you.
it's pretty dope though. I think you'd like the
Speaking of which, I
the
can't wait
assassin
for
class.
that fucking Robin Hood game.
Robin Hood game.
Yeah, remember they showed it off at the pseudo E3 that they had? I think it's a Ubisoft game.
I don't remember
It's
that.
where like you play in teams.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I remember what you're talking about now. You said I thought you meant like it was a genuine Robin Hood game.
No, but it's based on Robin
Yeah,
Hood.
yeah. I know what. Yeah, that game does
Loosely.
look dope.
I don't know how loosely. Anyways, so what else you been?
Rocket League, because the game's fucking dope and it's free. So like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be playing it.
Yeah,
It's really fun.
I don't like how many blueprints I get.
Yeah,
And
that's the
how
one thing I will
much
say.
those
The
blueprints
only
cost.
problem I have is that I'd be fine getting blueprints if there was a way to get a currency in game to buy.
Yeah, which I thought if anyone, Epic would be pretty good at that, because Epic's pretty good with that with Fortnite.
Yeah, I thought they would like put it on, because they do have like a battle pass type thing. I thought they'd put it in there, and there's nothing.
I think Fortnite does battle passes probably better, which I haven't played Fortnite in I can't tell you how long.
Yeah.
But they do battle passes better than just about anyone. So, I mean,
I don't think I've seen the only one that I think is like up there with that is Destiny. I really like their pass. That's because I think you get a lot out of the free version.
Yeah.
Without having the premium.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is Fortnite's you can spend a season grinding, and if you don't spend any of your V-Bucks and you level up everything you can buy the premium version next time around.
Yeah, okay.
Which means that you can once again buy the premium version and spend some money on cosmetics.
Yeah.
And it unlocks a lot as to where like Rocket League, their currency is for blueprints. Like I have this really cool blueprint for a paint. It's like a cloudy, like a starry paint that like moves and shit. It's so cool. It's like 2,200 of their in-game currency.
How much is that?
$22.
Damn.
Yeah,
For a blueprint?
hundreds of dollar. Yeah,
bro. Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
it's crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest issue with the game, and I don't remember it being like that originally, right?
No, it wasn't because you had to pay for it. Yeah,
Yeah, you just bought
like,
every
I bought it on
premium
Steam.
skin.
Mm-hmm.
I missed the
you
Batmobile.
didn't even buy premium skins. They just gave you skins initially. Like it was almost like here's a fucking cosmetic update, you guys.
Oh, okay.
And then it turned into some premium shit, and then Epic bought them, and
Yeah, okay.
It's
I get what you're saying.
It's changed. Yeah, which I think at one point in time you could even like get their in-game currency. You just can't now. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they would change that. That
Yeah.
definitely make me want to play more, because that's probably the main reason I don't play consistently. I'll play like every night, or not every night, but every once in a while at night I'll get on, join a party,
Yeah.
play.
And I take that back. Genshin Impact has the best free-to-play monetized fucking in-game currency model. Period.
Yeah,
Period.
I want to jump back into
Although,
the game.
how weird is it that their system is just a gambling system? It's a gacha, the slot machine things.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And holy shit, is it good?
Yeah, it makes me like legitimately want to keep playing to using it.
Yeah.
And they kept giving me currency at first too, which by now I might have some more that they sent me. Who knows?
Probably.
I haven't played in a minute.
It's been about 2 weeks for me.
Yeah, it's been a little bit longer for me, so I should jump back into that because I do like the game.
Yeah. It says here you're playing Hollow Knight.
Yeah, it's free on Plus this month with Shadow of War, so I figured I'd give it a try. I might even re-download Shadow of War because I do, and I haven't like finished everything in that game.
I don't know why I said God damn it to that one like it's fucking Battlefront.
No, it's a good game.
Yeah,
it's just my biggest problem, and probably only problem, is canon breaks within.
You said Shadow of War, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets really interesting with some of the fortress like missions and the online, and
I wonder if
it's
the
pretty
online is still like open, because if it is, then with everyone probably playing it now because of Plus, I could probably do some online fortress battles and that shit. I haven't done those yet, and those look really sound really cool.
Would almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
For this reason alone. What other games does Warner Brothers have that's online?
Fair enough.
So if they now I doubt that they own their own servers. They're probably renting them out, but they probably signed some sort of contract because they knew that they would get it later, blah, 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 blah. They probably haven't taken those servers offline, and they're not going to until they have something else to allocate it to. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might get back into that just because it's a really fun game to play. And now that I'm done with the story, I don't really have to worry about any of those canon breaks. Because honestly, it was one of those games that oh, you said you might beat it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun to go through the story just because there were fun storytelling aspects, like taking it when it was the parts that weren't involved directly with any of the main canon characters or anything like that, when it's just Talion and Celebrimbor and shit like that and the army of orcs. Yeah. Really good storytelling like in the first game, especially when you interact with some of your army, like how you did with Ratbag and Shadow of Mordor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was actually really cool. It's just when you get into Shelob stuff, which you don't interact with her the whole game. It's a bit of the beginning.
That shit bothered me.
Bit of the end.
That shit really bothered me.
Yeah, it bothers me too, for sure.
She turns into
a lady, a woman.
A very seductive, fuckable spider.
Yeah, it's almost like
it bothers me.
It's almost like if Medusa could turn off her snake hair and stone stare shit. That's the vibe I get.
You don't dig the snake dreads?
Nah. They turn you into stone.
Fam. If they didn't turn you into stone?
I still wouldn't. They're fucking snakes. They can bite.
Doesn't that make it a little more exciting?
Maybe for you. I don't know what the fuck you're into.
Okay. All right. Says here, Game of Thrones. Speaking of snakes, you're probably at the Sand Sisters now, huh?
I'm about to finish season 3, so season 4 is when you meet Oberyn.
Goddamn right.
So Sand Snakes won't be until I think it's it's season 5, yeah, because the end of season 4 is his demise. Spoilers.
Jesus Christ, spoilers! Holy fuck!
Yeah,
I'm kidding. No one gives a fuck about Game of Thrones spoilers
at this point. Yeah,
yeah, and then
it's been fun rewatching it though. By the way, I just finished the Red Wedding today. Still fucking hurts. But because I've seen it a couple times since I first saw it naturally, because I do rewatch. I used to rewatch it a lot more back then just to learn the lore because I was actually interested in it.
They released a pretty good there's a couple pretty good series on YouTube that goes through the world of Ice and Fire.
Mm-hmm. I've seen them. I really like them.
Yeah.
You're talking about the ones where the cast like narrates it? The different members of the cast?
No.
Oh, there's a different one?
It goes into the book, The World of Ice and Fire.
You'll have to send me those because I'm still intrigued.
They're hours worth of videos.
Oh,
but
that's fine with me.
It goes into Ashai and the fucking whatever cities. I think it is Ashai is the city.
Okay.
And quite possibly the last person to sail west of Westeros with the whole Arya thing.
Yeah. And then wasn't it like that was the person with the dragon eggs that would later become Dany's?
Because they were found in Ashai with the ship. Yeah, so it was.
It's a rumor though, right? That's not confirmed. or is like heavily.
No, that's the World of Ice and Fire.
Okay.
It was and George R. R. Martin wrote that. So
Oh yeah. Okay,
it was
that's
just
cool.
like his fucking
Yeah,
Silmarillion or some shit.
you'll
I
have to
don't
send me
fucking know.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I dug it.
I will say,
But
as
yeah.
much as I love Tolkien, George R. R. Martin probably has a more interesting start to his world because he doesn't do like the whole creation of it. I think, right? He just does like, Children of the Forest, then the First Men, and like Old Valyria. I don't think he does like the whole beginning of the world.
The way it felt to me, and I could be misremembering, but before the coming of the First Men, with the whole Children of the Forest and the giants, and kind of made it seem like Westeros was an Eden type place.
That's cool.
And then men came and ruined it.
As they do.
Yeah.
Or as we do. I shouldn't say they. So. I guess we're part of that, technically. Even though I'm not a Game of Thrones character. Which I really wish I wasn't.
No, that's probably the worst fucking world to be in.
I saw a meme about that the other day where it was like, oh, Star Wars, yeah, I'd love to be a part of that. Or like Lord of the Rings, love to be a part of that. It's like, fuck no.
No, pass.
It's because your chances of actually being someone who can make shit happen and have a good fucking life for yourself, slim to none, plus the possibility of just getting backstabbed.
I was gonna say,
dead,
bro,
diseased.
Even if you're like rocking with the main motherfuckers,
yeah, it doesn't matter. Whereas in like Star Wars, you can be a random motherfucker and just join a fucking bounty hunters guild.
Admiral Akbar made it through 9 movies.
He did. Well, 8-ish. He died in episode 8.
Akbar?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he died in 9.
No, remember they have the whole like thing they talk about him dying in episode 8. His son is in 9. Junior. Akbar Jr.
I know Akbar shows up in some of the Vader comics when he's fucking with the Inquisition.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I still haven't read those. I should probably at some point.
He's like a much younger.
There was one I saw.
They go to Mon Calamari and it's pretty dope.
Nice.
Yeah.
I liked the Mon Cala storyline on Clone Wars. I thought it was really. I just like the underwater world of Star Wars. How they're like have the helmets on and they fight underwater and they have.
Yeah.
I remember in the 2003 Clone Wars, Kit Fisto had like this underwater fight scene and his lightsaber looked so dope.
That's right, he did.
Underwater.
Well, that plot line was kind of interesting because it was like one of the Jedi that had survived basically set it up to where they needed the Mon Calamari Navy. And so and the Mon Calamari wanted nothing to do with the rebellion.
Yeah.
Until Vader came with his Inquisition, until the Inquisitors came.
Huh.
And the Jedi, I think he killed 2 of the Inquisitors, but he basically set it up to where he was sacrificing himself and a shit ton of the Mon Calamari so that they would have a reason to join the rebellion.
It
It was like, it was a kind of weird plot line.
I'll have to check it out then. I did see something from one of the Vader comics where Vader goes to Naboo and he visits like the gravesite of Padme, and it's all of her old handmaidens basically protect it. And I think it was, I don't remember which one it was. Could have been Dorme and Sabe or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Just characters we saw in the prequels that were her decoys and whatnot that didn't fucking matter. Then, but they were like going now, and it's like it was weird because it was Vader like not necessarily like taking shit from them, but he was kind of like heeding their advice to like stay away and whatnot because it was Padme. And it was really cool. I'll have to read the whole thing. I don't want to get into it because I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
But the Vader comics do look really cool. And I am intrigued to read the, I think they do, I know they do Maul, but I really want to read the Kylo Ren ones as well. Just to get a little bit more backstory with Knights of Ren and all that.
The Maul one's kind of, I read some of it. It's kind of interesting, especially his trials and shit.
Yeah, I mean, they do make really dope comics. The Obi-Wan and Anakin, I remember reading the first 2 of that.
I have the
never
first 2.
finishing
I
it.
never bought the rest.
Yeah, but that was really good from what I read. But it is really cool that their comics do. It's a shame they just don't put any of that in like movies or shows because as much as I'd like to read the comics, I don't really think to. Like I don't go out of my way to go buy them.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't think I've read a Star Wars book that was current canon. Well, Ahsoka. actually. Never mind.
I never finished Ahsoka. Real quick, I do want to talk about something Star Wars related before we get on the Mandalorian. So just finish what you
Yeah, I got you.
were watching.
Young Justice, I restarted that. I'm on season 2 now. Love that show.
Good. I've
It's
never
really good.
watched it.
Yeah.
Until you turned that shit on, and I was like, "Oh, this shit's pretty
Yeah,
good."
like I said, it's not. I
fucks with it.
don't think it's better than something like Last Airbender, but I put it up there in like top cartoons.
Yeah,
Like it's on my top 5 list of cartoons that I can rewatch and like that I think have really good themes, really good episodes, and really good characters. Especially when you get into the later and the latter half of season 1 and then all of 2. Pretty good, especially because it gets into some of the smaller characters. Like, he's not a small character, but for the show, he wasn't in it until season 2, and he seems kind of like a small character first. But Blue Beetle, he's pretty important to the plot. I haven't seen season 3, so that's what I'm building up towards is watching that. But I've seen season 1 and 2 like twice.
Yeah, it is astonishing. Speaking of Batman, the last thing you were watching was The Dark Knight, which is fucking dope.
Still great.
Loves it. It is so weird though how Robin is treated generally in DC. Because like we were talking about it, these fucking grown ass adults were captured by fucking aliens in a cage, and Robin comes up and to save them, and they go, "It's the Boy Wonder." Like I would have left them to die. I'd have been like, "Fuck you, bitches." The fuck did you just call
Robin?
me?
Fucking Robin.
I think they said Robin, and then
they said Robin the Boy Wonder.
The Boy Wonder.
It does suck that that's like his like secondary name. You got someone who's called the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, the Caped Crusader even.
See, Caped Crusader and the Boy Wonder does not do well for me because I imagine a priest and an altar boy. And so
that sounds right.
So yeah, he fucked their childhood up enough, all the Robins except for Damien.
Well, no, I told you he still fucked his childhood up.
Oh yeah, he
because
did. This is the most interesting theory.
It's based off of their like happiness, I'd say, and all of their happiness was ruined because Damien loved fucking killing people, and he took that away from him.
And Bruce took that away. Yeah. Training.
Training.
Let's play some one-on-one training ball.
One-on-one training ball.
Fucking crazy. Oh, Batman's a fucking psychopath.
I love that in that show though. He like tells Superman like, "Hey, you should be there for Superboy," and he's like, "That's not my fucking son." He's just like an absentee father.
My fucking son.
In my mind, he does.
Yeah. So, real quick, we're gonna jump back on Star Wars. I've been playing Modern Warfare, not really because I want
Star Wars
to,
game,
but because I've been playing with. Been playing with Caleb, so that is all I have played.
And you got your fucking ass whooped.
Fuck out of here! I was using a fucking controller that had
but even
joystick
when you use
problems.
my controller, you got your ass whooped.
Fuck out of here! I don't
lie to everyone.
This blasphemy. I'm a fucking terrible at that game.
Yeah, it's true.
So, did you see that Star Wars Theory is going through with his episode 2 of Vader?
I saw, and I was really happy to see that.
Yes. However, I do have a critique.
What's that?
Now, typically, I hate when people critique Star Wars Theory because all I see online is everyone shitting on Star Wars Theory for no fucking reason.
Damn.
The entire Star Wars community that makes content
Why?
creation centered around. I think it's because he doesn't flippantly spout bullshit rhetoric, specifically with the Last Jedi shit.
Okay.
And they blame him for his toxic fan base. Now, I've never seen this toxic fan base at all.
Yeah.
I think they assume that a lot of the people that were attacking the stars come from his fucking fan base for whatever reason. And I cannot stand. It seems like one of the nice fucking dudes.
Yeah.
Like I really genuinely, and he's doing interesting shit that everyone else then turns around and copies. For example, he put out I really like Chilled Cow's YouTube channel. They're a lo-fi, like you throw them on to study or even if you're going to sleep or some shit like that. It's fucking beautiful. It's just some lo-fi hip hop, jazzy type feels. and he did one for Star Wars.
Oh,
He put out like a fucking. It's really cool. I was like, bro, I've never seen.
That's what's up.
And so what happens? I see more and more shit popping up, and he never gets salty, man. He's like, oh, yo, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is that Disney shafts him time and time again. There are plenty of other fan films out there.
Yeah.
They don't sue them. They've never sued them. They did most certainly go after Star Wars theory.
Yeah,
though.
I remember when that happened with episode 1
And
of his, Vader film.
you know, I like him and Hello Greedo as far as that shit goes. I haven't watched Hello Greedo shit in a while.
I don't even know who Hello Greedo is.
He's a dude who just wears a stormtrooper helmet the whole time.
Does he do the similar type content, like doing the rundown of like the comics and like the canon stuff?
Nah, no one's doing Star Wars theory content. Not the way he does it.
Okay.
So this is my critique though, and it's a very mild critique. I would very much like to see him continue this Vader series. And he was talking about that one of his when he was making it, it was like one of his dreams to work on like he spent $1 million on that first. There are other films that I'm not going to say quality wise, they're quite there, but you could get that and not spend that if you don't have a big budget movie set type thing. Like basically just dial it back ever so slightly as far as production goes. Maybe it takes a little bit longer. But I would very much like to see him not spend $1 million an episode.
Yeah.
And us get more stuff, especially because he can't monetize them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not making your money back on that, I would very much love to see. And I've seen like the Maul fucking.
Oh yeah, I love the Maul fan
film. God, it's so good.
I've rewatched that thing like
there
4 different times.
There are a lot of really good fan films.
Relatively low budget.
And I
for
just,
a fan film.
Yeah, I think that he could do it on a much cheaper budget if he just dialed it back a bit and didn't make it feel like he's working on a Star Wars movie, make it feel like he's working on an indie film. You know what I mean? And that's my only critique. It's not a criticism. It's not because at the end of the day, like, bro, it's your shit. Do whatever you want to with
for
it.
sure.
What I'm saying is, as a fan of the first, I would very much like to see these other ones get made and make sure that you don't go broke in the fucking process. You know, but the fact that like he was on this big budget, you know, he got that theater rented out to do it. That is all really cool.
Yeah.
But I think now that and again, I'm not gonna fucking sit here lecture now that you got that, but kind of now that he got that like thing out of his system, I would very much like to see him create a really cool series.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In the vein of like Cobra Kai was a fucking fan shit until YouTube Originals and then Netflix, right?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Cobra Kai. I've
I
heard
could have
people
just been
talk
talking
about
out of my ass. I never gave a fuck about the Karate Kid enough to.
No, I don't know if
Not
I've
to
ever
care.
seen it. The Karate Kid all the way through.
But
Other
I'm
than the
super
one with
excited.
Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith. Seen that one.
I've seen parts of that one.
Yeah.
So
It is a Jackie Chan movie.
I saw the Karate Kid when I was a fucking kid, and I was like, "This is terrible."
Were you a Karate Kid?
No, I was fucking watching Goku fuck up aliens. Why would I watch Karate Kid? Like
Fair.
seriously?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah,
Seriously.
at that point in your life, when especially because like
Karate
you
Kid was
can-
fucking stupid.
you're a '90s kid, especially, so you had all these dope ass animes coming out then too, and not even just
Yeah.
anime, but like cartoons that were doing some really dope shit with action
Yeah.
to the point where and that's an '80s movie too, so it's definitely
Yeah.
dated.
Yeah,
Even then, I imagine.
yeah. It was pretty dated.
Yeah, I mean, you think of the premise of like these fucking asshole group of kids bullying this one kid. He has to learn karate.
And again, I've always hated movies where the kids are the main characters.
Yeah,
I could never stand that.
the only time I've ever seen you enjoy that is Avatar.
It literally
that's
is the
just
only
a
time.
really well written show.
Well, there are some anime that do it relatively well where I'm like, all right.
I guess
this
Sword
pass.
Art, you like that? Attack on
Sword
Titan,
Art.
they're kids, right? Young adults.
Younger. Yeah, I think they're like 17 or some shit like that. Naruto's not terrible. I could sit down and watch it with like Caleb or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the time, I was even like watching some Dragon Ball. I like Captain Planet. I really do. It's live action, man. It's live action. I can't do like I fucking hated the Goonies. I didn't like E.T.
I don't like
all the
E.T.
seminal movies where it's like, oh, these kids are fucking.
Yeah.
I could never.
Do you think it was just you just don't like the thought of the kid being there? It just feels weird. You feel like it's something unrealistic, or is it you just don't relate to it?
Honestly, do you know what I think it is? I think it's because they fucking nerfed the fuck out of any movie where kids are fucking in the leads.
Okay.
So it's ultimately not gonna be as cool. It's gonna be fucking 90% dumber.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
you know what point. I mean? Like
Teen Titans, the original.
Teen Titans was dope.
Dope.
Yeah.
Young Justice, dope.
Yeah, Young Justice is dope. Like so, animated it works pretty well because they don't have to.
Because I'm trying to think of something live action that you enjoy. Because I know I don't really give a fuck.
The problem's getting stuntmen.
Yeah, that's actually pretty valid point.
So you can do it with younger adults.
Yeah.
And then even something like Stranger Things, I enjoyed the first season or two. I just lost interest. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna let
when
you
they
know
start going
now.
into these kids' lives, I really could give two
season
shits.
Season 1 really
like
good.
Shit.
I think season 1 was really good. Season 2 was just a repeat, not necessarily bad, but it just felt like a huge repeat. Season 3 is where, and I don't think I've said it on here before, but I know I've definitely said it, is that it's good from a perspective of if you just want to sit with these characters and you like them already and you just want to see them, but as an actual narrative and plot, it's not written very well. There's just some really dumb shit thrown in. Yeah, but like even for a show like Stranger Things, there's just some dumb shit that's thrown in there.
Stranger Things barely had me. Oh, by the way, 40 minutes in, if you're wondering why we're not fucking touching on games yet, it's because there's been no goddamn news. We're going to breeze past this fucking news. For gaming news, there's really not been nothing happening. The new consoles come out.
They're coming soon.
By the time we record next episode, you'll have your PS.
Yeah, I'll give some like first impressions or whatever. And if you want to fuck around with it, for sure, go ahead.
I'm not fucking around with the fucking PS4 right now.
Oh yeah, I know. I just mean like if you want to like fuck with the controller, see if you like it.
Now that I will want to do. Yeah, for sure. So let's go ahead and get into some shit so we can keep this a little bit shorter. It's late. Both of us are fucking tired. Hopefully I can get this edited tonight.
Yeah.
What's up, bitch?
Were you speaking to yourself in the future editing?
Yeah, I actually was. So The Mandalorian season 2 dropped.
Big return.
It was we were talking about this. I have this problem with The Mandalorian where it's super dope when we're in it. It's the world of fucking Star Wars. You got Pedro Pascal as the fucking Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. You got just fucking this weird dude with a country accent. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Total spoilers for episode 1.
If you haven't seen it, skip forward 5 minutes. 5 minutes from now. All right, and I'm going to tack that. So at 5 minutes, we got to shut the entire fuck up. You have this dude with this shitty ass country accent, right?
Cobb Vanth.
Yeah, I'm never gonna say his name. He doesn't
Played
get a
by
name.
Timothy Olyphant.
No. Played by Dollar General Rob Lowe.
I saw some people comparing him to Josh Duhamel as well, which I thought was funny because he actually does look like Josh Duhamel.
Yeah, he does look like Josh Duhamel. That's probably a better
comparison.
That's a better comparison.
Yeah,
but he looks like Josh Duhamel fucked Rob Lowe.
Probably.
Yeah,
that probably happened somewhere.
Yeah. You think?
I think so.
So
we'll just spread that rumor.
Yeah, it'll be successfully spread everywhere. So the problem I have with The Mandalorian is they do all this cool shit. You got the fucking sand people. They're taking out this thing they call a dragon. That's just
dragon.
A worm. Crate dragon. Why do they call it a crate dragon?
I don't know. It's just what the species is called on Tatooine.
Yeah, but when they said crate, I'm not taking it as crate like cargo. I'm taking it as crate like the planet.
Krayt.
That's fucking stupid. I
believe. Yeah, it's
All
not
right.
a crate like the Planet Crate.
come
Which,
up-
now
come
that
up
you
with
bring that
better
up, that
names.
would have made more sense. But the Crate Dragon's been around since episode 4. Within like canon of Star Wars, we saw the skeleton when C-3PO was walking through the Dune Sea and whatnot.
Yeah, that's
So I think that's why they threw it in, is to be like, hey, remember, because this episode was all like callbacks and references.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so that's the other thing that real quick I'll touch on is that it's not like any other good show where it's so fucking good it stays stuck in my mind. I watch it, I'm like, fucking awesome. Boba Fett shows up at the end. That's goddamn
Oh
cool.
yeah, I can't
That's
wait.
pretty fucking cool.
Damn sure that was him in season 1.
And
The end of episode 5 when he first went to
oh
Tatooine.
yeah, actually,
Because that was the theory for the longest time, and like
now I'm really interested.
he's probably been
I didn't
tracking
think about
Mando.
But see, that's my point. Is that like, dude, we were rewatching Game of Thrones, and like I wasn't rewatching it like you. I would just sit down and watch here and there. Dude, that show stays stuck in my fucking head.
Oh yeah,
Just how fucking good it is.
It's so good until it isn't.
Until it isn't. Fucking God, last couple seasons. Woo. Especially the last season.
The very last, because even the 6 and 7 have some like get hype moments, and that's all they are.
Yeah. And
8 did not.
8 was fucking.
The hypest I got was right before the Battle of Winterfell when Podrick sings his
Yeah.
little song and it's showing everyone getting ready. I'm like, fuck yeah. And then you can't see the battle.
But so that we can cover our spoiler thing, Mandalorian just doesn't keep me. It's not so fucking good. I wonder if I would enjoy The Mandalorian were I not a Star Wars fan. And I'm not sure I would. I'm not sure I can defend it on those grounds.
No, yeah, I definitely get that. I feel like it's definitely made for Star Wars fans. And it's made by big Star Wars fans.
And I was going to say, which is problematic, but it's kind of not. It's fan service to the show. I would like a good, really, really good, engaging, captivating show. I think we're going to get that with the High Republic shit, but I also think we're going to get a soft reboot of Star Wars.
Yeah, you talked to me about this.
I think
before.
they're going to try to move
like
to
MCU-ish.
a more MCU maybe a little more Star Trek, a little more intense,
like the Kelvin timeline of Star Trek.
What the fuck is the Kelvin timeline?
J.J. Abrams films.
Yes, that timeline.
It's called the Kelvin verse because
Picard.
it starts off with the USS Kelvin getting attacked by.
I did actually know that. Fucking my brain. Yeah, I don't remember. I know that because I've read it once. I don't want to say that like, oh yeah, of course.
I'm very well versed.
Yeah.
in the Kelvin verse.
No, I did read that before, and I was like, that's kind of fucking dumb. We could just call it the Abrams timeline.
Yeah, maybe it's because he didn't direct the last one. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's still his timeline.
Yeah, it's still his timeline.
His timeline's so good.
It is. I love it.
But Picard falls in a similar vein, but it's better than The Mandalorian in my opinion. A lot of people hated that goddamn show.
Picard?
Ooh, did a lot of people hate that show.
I feel like you told me this before and I forget why that
A lot
is.
of people hated that show because you can't make Star Trek and Star Wars fans happy. That's why. Speaking of which, let's not go into any more spoiler territories because we're past our
I don't think we really need to go into any more.
No, but I liked it. I'm really excited for what this season is bringing.
For sure.
But with that being said, it's still, I think it's only enjoyable because we're Star Wars fans.
Yeah. And to your point on not being able to like go back and rewatch it, it's not like stuck in your head or anything. It's because I think specifically with the first season, I think this might go away with the second season. Who's to say at this point? But the first season is really a lot of just one-off episodes, quick stories that can finish within a whole thing, which I enjoyed with the first season of Mandalorian because I was like, this is cool seeing all these different worlds, characters. There are some things I don't really necessarily enjoy, but it's fun seeing a Star Wars that isn't. I think I said it when we watched the season 2 premiere. It was, this is something that isn't, oh my God, the galaxy's going to fucking end in a couple days or something. It's a small scale adventure.
Yeah, my biggest problem with the one-offs in season 1, which I will fully admit, one of my favorite shows ever is Star Trek Next Generation. its first season is fucking garbage. Like, it is not very good, man.
Yeah, you've
like
told me.
I went back and I've rewatched that series several times.
Do you only like it because it's nostalgic,
It's
or
only tolerable because I know what it's gonna be.
oh, okay.
Yeah, like that first season is pretty fucking bad.
Would you just skip over it if you were to just watch Next Generation?
Because I'm a purist. I've watched that season a couple times.
Is there any good moments, or is it all just kinda,
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there are good moments.
So it's not like a bad season.
As far as that show goes, comparing it to
The later seasons.
they kind of derail here and there because a lot of that show does do that one-off shit. I don't
Yeah.
think they do it very well. Sometimes I think they do, but most of that show was like one-off shit building to random plots. But they're exploring. That's all they're doing. There is no
Which makes sense.
there is no
what that
base
adventure
foundation.
is.
Yeah.
Of course, they get their big plot lines.
Yeah,
at some point
that they
I know the Borg. That's the only one I know. I
their
never watched
main
it.
plot line is Q, the Q continuum, who's played by I forget his fucking name. Oh god, it's gonna bother me.
I can just look it up while you
Q
talk.
Next Generation. So fucking basically, I felt like
John Delancey. Is that how
oh
you
well
say his
then
last name?
yeah, maybe he just looked like someone who fucking I thought was someone else. You know, I thought that was James Woods. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, he has James Woods energy.
I thought James Woods was who played the Joker in Young Justice the other night. Looked it up. It's not him.
Who is it?
Some dude I don't know.
Okay.
But I thought it was him. And I was like, man, this Joker is really not that good.
So, The Mandalorian has this problem. Like, for example, the episode where where he meets what's her face,
Cara Dune.
Cara Dune, and they have to defend that village.
Episode 4. Hate that episode.
That episode felt like a Stargate SG-1 episode to me that was executed so fucking poorly. Like, incredibly poorly.
Yeah.
And it's just shit like that I'm like, I don't really know if this is a good show on its own. I like it. It's Star Wars. If I wasn't a Star Wars fan, I'm not sure
Yeah.
it's a good show.
Yeah.
I would like the Clone Wars of live action shows if they're going to do them.
Which hopefully this season will be. Or maybe even one of the other shows they do.
I mean, the first and second season were not very strong for Clone Wars.
No, because it was definitely a kid show at the time, especially.
Yeah, it gets so dark.
Once Maul
How
shows
do we
up is
get
when it gets
Kenobi
super
here
duper
alone?
dark.
The slaughter of Innocent's brother.
Yeah,
I was
they
like,
just
whoa, he just
murder
kills those
children.
kids. Which I guess, is on par with like Anakin shit. But
Yeah, but we don't see that
yeah.
happen. Which I guess we still don't with Maul, but like you get a bit more with it.
Yeah.
And it's already shown that he's just doing that to get to Kenobi. Anakin's doing that because he wants to become a Sith.
Yeah.
Not trying to justify anyone murdering children in Star Wars. Happens a lot for some reason. Almost as much as people getting their hands chopped off.
Murdering children?
It's happened more than once, so I'd consider that a lot.
Okay. I think there could be more.
Room for more?
Room for more.
Always. But yeah, like I was saying
Jesus.
before, I think season 2 of Mandalorian will definitely be more of that, oh shit, this is kind of in my mind. I might rewatch them. I mean, I rewatched the premiere episode of season 2.
I hope so. If
and enjoyed it a little bit more the second time.
if they bring in some of the characters they talked about, as well as what they've set up, I think it could very well could be.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's because now we have a strict plot that he has to follow. He has to. I don't want to get into spoilers,
Yeah.
of course, but he has something specifically he set out to do. Whereas the first season was more, I have this child and I don't really know what to do with it yet. And now he's kind of
Yeah, but it's also not really a child.
yeah, it's 50 years old, same age as Anakin. But he has a goal now. There's at least a point there's a point A and a point B, whereas the first season was kind of just all over the place, but not necessarily in a bad way, just not in a rewatchable way. There is one episode that maybe I could go back and rewatch, and it's the episode where he teams up with that like gang of people that the one with Bill Burr. I could rewatch that episode, I think.
Yeah.
Just because that scene
like
where
the one with Bill Burr.
the power goes out and he breaks out of his cell and he goes fucking ape shit on him. That part's dope.
Yeah.
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 And I think that one, I don't remember who directed that one. I think that was Rick Famuyiwa, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think I'm going to finally finish season 4 of Rick and Morty since it's
finally on HBO. Fuck, I need to start
anything is what I would like, but whatever. You want to get into games, and now we're into our gaming podcast?
Of course.
I say that like it's got to be strictly. I don't give a fuck.
Only them goddamn video games.
Y'all come here. So first and foremost, Nintendo outdoing themselves. The Switch has officially sold more units than the NES. It's sitting at 68.3 million. The NES sold 61.91.
Nice.
So congratulations. Still not going to catch up to Sony, you guys.
As soon as they brought in Steve, man, that's when you get the units selling.
Oh my God.
Brought in my mans. But then you took his meat away. Fuck off.
This is the second time you've mentioned Steve's meat. Like it's a movement you're willing to die on.
I've
that
seen
hill.
I've seen so many memes
offended
for
when
it.
I ask you what you're consuming other than dicks.
I don't see how the two things coincide.
Clearly. So yeah, just that little thing. Capcom had a breach of security on the 2nd. They said that as of right now, they don't believe any customer information was compromised, which I actually do believe. Typically, I don't believe companies in this scenario. Anytime they say that, it's been a problem. And I follow more than just gaming stuff with this. So I think it was like, for example, the Experion shit that happened not too long ago. I think it was Experion. It was one of the fucking credit shits that we got to use. They knew for a very long time their board members, their top executives sold off shit tons of stock before they went public and let everyone know that a third of Americans were at risk because they had been compromised 6 months prior. 6 months prior. So typically it takes about 2 weeks for these things to come out if it's not obvious. And Capcom just came out and said it. They're still investigating. It happened the 2nd. They let everyone know on the 5th. So we're talking about a 3-day turnaround, 3-day turnaround. That's actually pretty fucking insane for a company letting you know if it's not glaringly obvious that something went wrong with their system or so on and so forth. So I actually do believe them when they say that there was no compromise that they can see as of right now of any sort of customer data. However, if there is some sort of, I don't know what Capcom account you would have or what
I don't know. Is it something for like
money
Street
tied
Fighter?
to it? That I think they do Planet Side as well.
Oh yeah.
Just if you have a Capcom shit, change your password just to be safe. Got a little itch in my throat.
I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, just go ahead and change your password just to be safe. Might as fucking well.
Yeah.
And then, so this is kind of interesting that I want to talk about that I saw no one talking about. There's been no fucking news this week, you guys. Almost no news. And the like worthy news wasn't pushed by games media. So that was fucking weird. I think they were worried about the end of the world. I don't.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Aren't we all at this point?
Yeah. The fact that like
we're prepared.
There are some people who are like, it is the end of the world. Like, I don't know about all that.
We'd know if it was.
I don't know about all that. I do think shit's gonna get crazy for a little bit. Europe's going back into lockdown. Mm-hmm. Shout outs to our European listeners. I'm going to start streaming a little bit more if y'all want to join me, play some fucking games or some shit.
Stay safe.
Yeah, because y'all are going back into lockdown, and they're taking that shit pretty serious. I saw some videos of our home country today that fucking disturbed the shit out of me. It looked like fucking Wuhan whenever they were cracking down the Chinese police.
Damn.
Yeah, like they were being fucking rough, man. They were not taking that shit lightly, and Italy hasn't locked down yet. Italy just has like curfews and shit like that. And like heavy restrictions. France is going into lockdown for I think they said it's on an indefinite thing, but they're going into lockdown
in France.
Pretty bad. I know they were talking about their hospitals are close to being overwhelmed, almost all across Europe. England is going into lockdown. They went into lockdown yesterday, and they will be in lockdown until the 6th of December.
So it's basically a whole
I think
month.
Belgium's going into lockdown again. So again, just shout outs to like everyone, stay safe out there, especially in shit's been kind of crazy in France. So we make our French jokes, but
all shit aside,
y'all motherfuckers stay safe out there.
Yeah.
Because shit has been.
I
shit's
did
been
see
crazy in
something with
France,
the England lockdown in particular. I think I told you about it beforehand. Is that the Batman is still
they're
filming?
going to continue filming the Batman,
and that Witcher 2. Henry Cavill talked about how because of lockdowns that I think he said they finished all of their the shooting that they needed on location, and he said they're moving to the studio now to wrap up filming on season 2 of The Witcher.
They're adopting the Mandalorian's LED screens, right?
That I'm not sure. I know Kenobi said they're going to use them, but that's same people.
Yeah. So
which will be dope.
PS5 won't have a physical. It won't be in physical stores the day of release on the 12th. Correct? 12th.
Yeah, 12th is release date.
According to a PlayStation blog article, what Sony's exact words are is you like that silence? Everyone just thought that it fucked up. No, I had a hiccup.
Oh, that was a hiccup? Yeah. For a second I was like, did you forget how to read?
No, I'm not going to edit it out. I wanted to see. We should have a moment of silence like we did in school, randomly throughout each episode.
Wait. Did we have a moment? What did you guys have a moment of silence for?
For 9/11.
Oh. Never forget. I won't say it's strange because I guess it's not, but I don't think we had.
I'm not particularly patriotic, so.
No, I don't think we had.
It sucks that all those people died. I'm not saying that.
Yeah. But I don't think we had a moment of silence.
Every morning after the announcements.
People could have just ignored it. Honestly, I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, PlayStation blog article reads, quote, the launch of the PlayStation 5 console on November 12th or November 19th, depending on your region, is almost upon us. In the interest of keeping our gamers, retailers, and staff safe amidst COVID-19, today we are confirming that all day of launch sales will be conducted through the online stores of our retail partners. No units will be available in store for purchase on launch day, November 12th or November 19th, depending on your region. Please don't plan on camping out or lining up at your local retailer on launch day in hopes of finding a PS5 console for purchase. Be safe, stay home, and place your order online. Gamers who have pre-ordered for pickup at their local retailers should still be able to do so at their designated appointment time under the retailer safety protocols. Please confirm the details with your local retailer. And then they go on to say, a special thanks to our entire community for your continued support this year. Here's to our next generation of gaming, end quote. I don't think this has shit to do with COVID. I think this is the final nail in the coffin for GameStop. GameStop has had them by the balls for so long to spit in their face one last time. GameStop really needed this. And GameStop was still going to go out of business. This new console generation was just the final kick of the can down the road. And now that can disappear, fam. You cannot kick it down the road. This is the final nail in the coffin. I would expect Microsoft to do something similar.
They haven't said anything yet?
Not that I've seen. Which this does get a little bit iffy because I'm using American corporate standards on Sony, who is a Japanese company. They have a different way of doing business over there. Like, for example, whenever the Sony network was hacked, and Sakurai and I believe Shuhei Yoshida and a couple other execs came out and they bowed to the fucking... They said that they fucked up and they bowed for a minute straight to show how, like, they were sorry. That shit does not happen in America. Like, it does not. With that being said, I think it is a good idea not to get any negative press or undoubtedly, if people are camping out outside, which people will, because we do not give a fuck about COVID, clearly, you're going to have some people getting sick and then some people blaming this shit on Sony and Microsoft. And some people probably would get sick. But the media loves to blame video games for fucking everything. So just stay away from this. And that final stomp in the fucking cock and balls of GameStop must be delicious. Because I can't fucking stand GameStop. And like GameStop for the longest time has blocked digital games being cheaper than physical. Because if you make them cheaper, they're just not going to sell your game. And you've needed to sell physical copies for there's a margin of physical that you need to sell in order to be profitable. GameStop they had the entire industry by the balls. And when you have the entire industry by the balls for 2 fucking decades, and then you're in a shit situation, yeah, those motherfuckers whose balls you were clinging on to are going to smile as you fucking piss away in the gutter.
Damn.
Goodbye, GameStop.
Speaking of...
shout outs to all the employees, though, because that fucking sucks. Y'all are losing your jobs.
For sure.
It's been a long time coming. I really hope you guys have looked elsewhere. Just because Reggie Fils-Aimé jumped on board this summer does not mean shit. Like, we called Reggie Fils-Aimé wasn't going to do shit for GameStop.
And nothing has happened.
I mean, it's been the same trajectory. Like, I didn't understand Reggie's move to do that. Maybe it was a challenge thing. Maybe it was an ego thing. I don't fucking know. Maybe it was a money thing. Maybe it was just so much goddamn money. Fuck it. They're going down either way. Like, you know what I mean? I'll see what I can do, I guess. But, it is unfortunate from the job perspective. From the company GameStop, fuck all the way off. I really can't stand GameStop. They're notorious for treating employees like shit. They're notorious for bullshit ass workplaces, greedy fucking bastards when it comes to trade-ins. And there's a reason why they wanted you to buy pre-owned. And it's because they were paying fucking $5 for a game they're going to turn around and sell to you for $30. It was bullshit through and through. Oh, man, I'm so glad to see him gone. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to get in-store physical fucking PS5s, sales of PS5s. You have to order them online. And they did not, mind you, in that blog post, give a time window of when they're going to start selling them in stores. I cannot imagine. Now, this also could be because of limited supply. So I was going to say, I can't imagine them not doing a Black Friday sale physical. But I also don't know how much they have, how many supplies they have. And they could just continuously sell out. You don't need to be in stores. So, yeah, that's a thing. Real quick, another weird fucking PS5 thing. PS5 won't have SSD upgrade support initially on release. And again, no time window was given. This one is a little more concerning to me. and I told you that I wanted to talk about this, but I didn't tell you why it's concerning to me. I'm very curious at how you feel about that. If you're concerned and if we're going at the same approach. So how do you feel on this?
I mean, there's what a terabyte of storage on a PS5.
Yeah, it's a terabyte.
Yeah, just from what I've seen, because I saw actually, I don't know if you saw the Cold War file sizes for the different consoles.
I did not.
It's just since we're talking about PlayStation 5, it's 133 gigs for PS5. Yeah, I'm concerned because I was gonna get this game, and I don't want to run out of storage as soon as I get a console because I'm gonna want to download all of the, because there are some Plus collection games I'm gonna want to play. There's a shit I want to play, and one game is gonna take up that much space. Plus, probably getting, I imagine, I'll probably get Miles Morales. I feel like I'm gonna run out of storage as soon as I get this console, and that worries me.
Yeah, so I normally wouldn't be too concerned about this, except for the fact that Sony consistently drops the ball on shit like this. And here's what I mean. So if there was no other way to have storage for the PS5, to upgrade your storage, I'd be like, they're going to bring it in the spring. They're going to have the upgrade thing. And upgrading your NVMe is a little bit different than upgrading your regular hard drive that you've been running on. These NVMEs can only be written and they can only have data written and overwritten so many times before they cut off that partition of the drive and it's no longer usable. And it's way shorter than a regular solid state hard drive that you would find in a PS4 or a laptop. Well, they're laptop hard drives. NVMEs for the most part are found in your modern laptops. But the reason is the chipset, because it runs so fast, because it does all it just cannot do what an SSD does, which is why you're getting these fast load times. Everyone's talking about the seamless shit. Video games are fucking almost different. I mean,
I actually saw the
Spider-Man
load times
are fucking
comparison.
insane.
I saw some comparisons today
damn.
for the Xbox One and the Series X.
Yeah. And mind you, Series X as well has an NVMe. They're running on basically the same memory technology. So they have the same speeds, the Series S, X, and the PS5. Now, here's what's concerning to me. If you can't upgrade your NVMe SSD, the NVMe 2 dot whatever the fuck it is, dot 2, whatever, and that'll come with a later update. The fact that you can attach an external hard drive to it concerns me, because that means that Sony doesn't have a fire lit under their ass to hurry the fuck up with this before people's drives start breaking, and they find out that you cannot just keep downloading and deleting games like you could on my SSD. In the PS4 is 9 years old. I took it out of my PS5. Or not my PS3. I took it out of my PS3. It is a 9-year-old drive, and it still runs relatively to where I wouldn't change anything about it. That is not going to be a fucking thing on PS5. But if you're using an external hard drive, that means your load times are going to go back to PS4 load times, which means that we could see this problem where it's not even about upgrading. It's about replacing, because they're the same fucking thing, but you wouldn't replace it on day one. Therefore, they're not addressing that. But 9 months down the line, if you don't properly manage your storage, I can see you needing to replace an NVMe for sure. And they're not cheap. And if you can't even put it in, this is concerning to me. I don't trust Sony, because they're also the same company that's like, oh yeah, no, you're going to be able to change user IDs on PSN very soon. Do you remember how long that took, bro? We just got that like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
They had been promising it since PS3.
Damn.
You could change your name on Xbox the entire time. 360? Their infrastructure was such shit that it took them that fucking long. It took them like 7 years. 7 years to deliver on a promise. The fact that it's not shipping with an upgrade, which means it's not shipping with a replace, is concerning to me. It means that they can't get it to work on the back end with the console and the OS, and they're running overtime. But because you can just hook an external drive up to the PlayStation and again run on load times that you would see in this generation, not the next generation, that's the entire point of it. I don't think the Sony's going to make it as big a priority as they would if you didn't have that option. And that's what's concerning to me, is Sony has a bad fucking history with shit like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that.
That is my biggest problem with this. It's yikes. I don't understand how, okay, well, if the drive isn't soldered to the board and it's modular, I can just go in and replace it. What do you mean it doesn't work? That'll come with a future update. That's concerning to me. And because of this ability to use the external shit, which means that you're going to have a PS5 that runs games beautifully at the slowest rate you've ever seen. And once you get used to those fast load times, you're not going to be able to go back.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to go back. And that's, I don't have faith in Sony to deliver on this. I have faith in Microsoft to deliver on it, oddly. I don't have faith in Sony. Every single time it's gonna come. The it's gonna come never fucking comes.
Yeah, it's already too late by then.
Dude, there was a problem for the longest time, for years, accounts that were set up as minor accounts, when they hit 18, couldn't be a regular account. It took them years to fix that problem. Years. And some people didn't want to get rid of it. They had all these trophies. Yeah. Maybe they even bought some games under this account. Yeah. But it has to be monitored under a family account.
Took them a long ass time to fix that. That seems like I don't know.
It
shit
took
about
them
it,
a
seems like
very
a simple
long
fix.
time. An extremely long time to fix that. Years to fix it. And they were saying they were going to consistently. They were saying they were going to fix the back end so that you could change your user ID. Just change your user ID. But apparently they built a fucking stupid ass archaic system with the user ID, the triggers in games, and trophies. And because the architecture for that system was so archaic, they couldn't figure out how to change it. That's why some of the PS3 games that you can go back and play some PS3 games where it doesn't have if you changed your name, like I changed mine to Games Tech, because it was something I chose when I was fucking 17. And there are some games that I'll go back and play on PS3 that'll have my old name because how fucking archaic their system is. It would just break everything. I do not have faith in Sony to fix this in the time in which this doesn't become an issue. This isn't one of those I'm guaranteeing like I did with Cyberpunk, which, by the way, I was fucking right, you guys. Rumor has it that it doesn't run well on current gen, and that's the reason for the delay. I was right. You bitches. Answer was right. I'm not calling you all bitches. I'm calling the bitches bitches. Don't worry. But
how will we tell the difference?
The fucking games media people who couldn't see simple shit.
They know who they are.
Bitches. But this isn't one of those things where I'm like, I guarantee come a year, and people are going to need new NVMe fucking SSDs, and Sony's not going to have it done, and this is going to be a problem. This isn't one of those things that it's one of those things that I am concerned about, though. I can see a very plausible situation in which that's the case. And that concerns me because Sony has not delivered on this shit in the past at all in a timely manner. Actually, in an asinine amount of time do they get shit fixed. Like, figure what the PSN was down when they had a fucking DDoS attack. They got DDoS attacked. DDoS. It's just a denial of service. It means that they fucking overwhelmed your servers. Your servers go down because it thinks it's getting too much traffic. They had a fucking DDoS. That's it. It is one of the most simple fucking attacks that you can do. And I don't even know shit about fucking hacking. It's not really even considered a hack among the hacking community. It's just DDoS. You can literally go online and have a service DDoS for you. It's not very legal. I wouldn't do it. But this was just a very large-scale, sophisticated DDoS attack by hackers that, mind you, I think Anonymous went on to fucking own, by the way, with low security when they did that. That shit was down for 3 months, bro. They got DDoS and PSN was down for 3 fucking months.
When was this?
When they started doing PlayStation Plus games. When they started giving them away.
Huh.
That is what started it. When the last SOCOM game came out. I can't remember which year it was, but it was right around summertime. It was probably around May. That shit went down for 3 months. 3 months. That's crazy. Damn. Sony does not do shit like this in a timely manner, and I think it's because they just, I don't know what the fuck they do with their coding, man. Like, it could just be fucking archaic ass systems that they have to convert. This is troubling when it comes to the PS5. So just a thing to think about, I would say. But to pivot, Jedi Fallen Order is going to come to Game Pass via EA Play.
More Star Wars stuff. Always
on
fun.
December 10th.
Fun game. Very fun game.
I think December 10th. Yeah. So it's whenever EA Play joins with
Game Pass.
Joins with Game Pass, that's when it's going to happen. No, that wasn't even the right link.
Nice.
I'm a piece of garbage.
You beat Fallen Order, right?
Yeah, I beat Fallen Order.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say such a fun game.
Yeah, December 10th.
I'm sorry to say that the New Game Plus was not very enticing. I tried it and was like, I can't finish this game again. It was fun to go through once. I like Cal Kestis.
I actually hate replaying games for the most part. They have to be like really special for me to replay them. I think I could have New Game Plus Fallen Order if not for fucking God damn it, what's the fucking planet? You know the
Zepho?
bitch of Zepho.
I would argue every map in that game is fucking terrible. Specifically Zepho, though.
They are. But
Zepho and what's its name? Zepho and Dathomir. I hated those maps.
I didn't mind Dathomir.
I like the environments of Dathomir, but once you get into the lower levels, it's a fucking labyrinth.
Not like Zepho. I genuinely fucking hate Zepho.
Yeah, I hate Kashyyyk for one reason, is that I'm 94% complete on that map, and it's like one of the only things keeping me from the platinum. And I don't know where I have to go.
I am too. And I
can't figure out what I missed.
Yeah, I don't.
And it's pissing me off because that's the only thing I need to platinum the game.
The map design is fucking awful.
Yeah, hopefully they fix that the next time they come around.
With that being said,
very fun game.
A fucking amazing game.
Love the story.
Like
Cal Kestis
definitely
is fucking
good.
good.
And the combat's fucking so much fun.
It's unfortunate that we haven't got a Star Wars game though where a lightsaber feels like a lightsaber.
Yeah,
it's close.
Yeah, that's true. It is close. But, and I think it's because that you can't do it with the physics of Frostbite. Just throwing that out there. Which is, of course, EA's proprietary engine. Because oddly enough, Fallen Order runs in Unreal. So that's a thing. But Jedi Fallen Order is so fun. It has one of the worst map designs, and I think you need to play it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how fun it is. But yeah, so it's coming to Game Pass Ultimate on December 10th.
That was such a fun game to play. I'm like thinking about it now. I'm like, damn, I hated the map, but it was so fun to go through. I really liked all the environments in the game. I thought they were very pretty diverse. I wish we had gotten to see more.
I'm sorry.
It was a pretty small story, so.
I lied. I completely lied about that. On PC, it'll be December 10th. On Xbox Series S and X, it will be the 10th of this month. So in 4 days, if you're listening to this. If you're listening past November 10th, go download it and play the shit out of this.
So good.
I do want to say, though, it is so fucking weird the way games media write shit. Like, it's almost like you know that class that you just added extra words to where you're like,
you had to hit that word limit.
I guess you can make that fit, but it doesn't make sense. So the source that I'm using is from IGN, and their direct quote is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will become available to EA Play subscribers on November 10th, 2020, the same day that EA Play is being added to the perk as a perk for Game Pass Ultimate subscribers, meaning the Star Wars Jedi Order is coming to Xbox Game Pass, sort of. And I was like, okay, what's the sort of? Right? What's the sort of catch? What do they mean, sort of? After reading through the article 3 goddamn times to try and figure out if I was fucking moronic, which I just hit my nose on the mic, startled myself like an old man in his sleep snoring or some shit. Anyways, trying to figure out if I was a fucking dumbass, I realized they added sort of there where they shouldn't have. And this is a fucking small thing, but like, it's technically not coming to Game Pass. It's coming to EA Play, which is part of Game Pass.
That's
what the
stupid.
fuck are you talking?
It's
Why would you say
Game Pass,
sort of?
yeah.
I thought there was going to be some sort of, but only if you own it, or if you pay $5 for it, or fucking, I was like, what
some
is
little
the
add-on there?
No.
Yeah.
So it is just coming to Game
Pass,
Pass because EA Play is coming to Game Pass. Yeah. So what the fuck?
Reminds me of that John Mulaney joke where he's like, it's the peace be with you and also with you. It's like just a little too much.
What I
sounds
don't
wrong.
get, though, is that EA Play is being folded into Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's not existing on its own.
Yeah, so, I don't know why.
So yeah, it's
sort of.
It is coming to Game Pass, not sort of.
Yeah.
Which I guess technically it's coming
if
to
you want to
EA
split
Play.
hairs.
And it's just shit like that. Shit like that where I'm like, you guys just really have to be douchebags 24/7, don't you? It's my
very
my
heated
frustration
over the sort ofs.
Yeah, it just
I get it. It's unnecessary.
Games media fucking irritates the shit out of me. But
Fallen Order is on Game Pass.
Fallen Order's on Game Pass.
Not sort of.
On
it is
the 10th of this month.
That's fun.
Love
that game. Man, I can't stop thinking about how much fun I had with that game now. I won't go back and play it though.
Let's touch on this real quick and then we'll close up. We're about at an hour and 30, and for us having no news, I think we can kind of cap things out right here. But I do want to talk about how another report coming out. AMC posted a 90.9% drop in revenue in its third fiscal quarter because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And that is they made $119.5 million in revenue. Last year I think they're down over $1 billion from 2019. AMC is operating 539 of its 600 domestic locations. But of course, audiences are not going to see shit. Because partially there's nothing to see because everything got delayed.
Yeah.
And I am not so upset about this. And so I have a different mindset on this than everyone else. I believe if you want to operate within capitalism, fucking operate, fam. There is no too big to fail. Just because they employ an asinine amount of people. It's something like close to 75,000 or some shit like that employees. That sucks. It really does. It does. With that being said, the market has changed now. There is not a huge demand to go see movies in movie theaters. Once COVID's over, I 100% believe that there will be. But if you couldn't adjust your business plan and maybe close down for the meantime or figure something out, you could not adapt. And let's not forget them throwing a fucking tantrum because Trolls decided to make money on its own. And they were like, we'll never carry a fucking Universal film ever again. Well, suck a dick, AMC. You're about to go out of business. And to me, they knew that someone was encroaching on their massive market that they price gouged the fuck out of, mind you. I mean, seriously, it is a common running joke that, like, I went to the movies and I spent fucking, $100 on a fucking a drink and a popcorn. Seriously though, 2 drinks and a large popcorn, I'm pretty sure I spent about after tax like $43.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's fucking nuts, bro. That is do you know how cheap soda is? Soda and popcorn is some of the cheapest shit candy, ever.
They're all really fucking cheap.
Like to make that, what it costs the company, it's not even $1. It seriously is not even $1. That large popcorn and 2 large drinks.
Yeah.
So you have a market in which you're price gouging like a motherfucker. You did not adjust your business properly to the current demand because there's not huge demand. And also because in America, in the capitalist way of doing business, debt is king. So the more debt you have, the better it is. Big businesses never save up money. They have probably about 3 months worth of shit. Sometimes not even that. I mean, you saw like what, Pier 1 went out of business?
Oh, did they?
Some store like that. It was like Pier 1 Imports, I'm pretty sure, went out of business. And they went out of business early, bro. And it's because all the money that they made, they were paying out and doing other shit with, so that they could say they were making this much money, so that they were borrowing money. And then by the time shit comes around, they're basically doing a business on a paycheck to paycheck kind of schedule. Well, all businesses do this because it's the proper way, the whole exponential growth without a ceiling, right? So exponential growth is just, you're constantly going to go. And how you do that is you get rid of most of your capital or your liquid shit, and then you just take out a bunch of debt on everything. And then that makes your business even bigger. It's horse shit, man. And I think this is the consequence of it. And personally, I'm not that upset, because when there is a demand for movie theaters, small businesses will answer that demand. And I think that's dope. I would much rather prefer to see that than have AMC and Regal take over shit constantly. I would much rather see random mom and pop, small business, or even smaller chains, like a Cinema Cafe or something like that.
Yeah.
Smaller chains take over local areas where maybe it's not showing fucking Avengers on 8 fucking screens. But, if the demand's there, then they'll expand. And that's how business works.
It's all part of the game.
And look, I'm not a fan of what's been being talked about with the fucking we need to bail out the movie industry. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. No, sir. No, sir. I'm not a fan of bailouts to begin with, but with the Corona thing, when it came to the airlines, I was like, it's not really their fault. It's kind of crazy. Like, it is kind of crazy, and we can't just lose the airlines out of nowhere. You know what I mean? That's going to impact economies in a different way. The banks, personally, I think could fuck all the way off. Fam, you failed. There is no too big to fail. It's called capitalism, baby. If y'all want to constantly preach that this system we're playing in, play in the system. Can't stand that shit. The airlines are a little bit different with this one. Just because those do have insane implications that I'm sorry, the banking didn't. It would have been a bitch, but we could have recovered much better than that. If we cripple the world's economy because you can't get flights, and then all of a sudden maybe you can't do business. But then again, I don't know. People are doing just fine on Zoom. So I don't know. Maybe let them all fail. Fuck it. I don't know. But certainly this AMC fam shouldn't charge me $43 fucking dollars.
R.I.P. Dolby Theater. I will say that.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss that. But that can always be adapted somewhere else.
Yeah, it could. These mom and pop businesses could
do it. Especially once they start making that revenue.
Especially because Dolby IMAX gets paid on that shit.
Yeah.
So, personally, what I would do is have one in a market that here we're gonna upgrade your theater to a Dolby Digital, but you got to pay us on the back end. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now you can still make your money. But I would much rather prefer to see small businesses pop up out of this.
Yeah, for sure. And I really do enjoy the movie theater experience minus the fucking snacks and drinks. That's fucking stupid.
For sure.
So
no, I agree.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm not one of these people who believes that movie theaters are going to go away. That's insane. I don't see it happening. There's just not a demand right now, and there probably won't be a demand for another year or so. And so
I definitely don't want to see movie theaters as a whole go away. I enjoy that too
again.
much.
I don't think they ever will.
No.
Even if we watch all of them disappear now, you know what's going to happen is there's going to be a demand, and someone's going to meet that demand.
Mm-hmm.
If there's money to be made, people will make it. Period.
That's how the system works.
If there's not, you need to get out and stop bitching that your market isn't oversaturated anymore. Period.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I think that's where I want to end that. That was a random little last tidbit. We're gonna go into our game suggestions of the week. Sometimes they're gonna be new games. Sometimes they're gonna be old games. Mine is old as fuck. Actually, Bruno's is too.
Mine?
Hollow Knight's pretty old.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Spoilers for my suggestion. Wow, thanks.
But yeah. Oh fuck. Okay.
Who cares?
So, but yeah, Bruno, you go ahead into yours. This is basically if you don't have shit to play and you don't have a backlog, we're gonna suggest a game that you should play this week, or until games stop getting delayed.
Mm-hmm.
And your new consoles come. So, Bruno, you go ahead first.
Yeah, so we didn't say them last week, so I'll just quickly throw mine in from last week. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. It's going to be put on the PS Plus collection. They added it, and I'm very excited to play it on PS5. And then also Crash 4 at some point I will definitely want to play. Regardless, Hollow Knight is mine for this week. It's free on PS Plus for this month. It's from Team Cherry. And I had heard of it before, but I had like no expectation of what it was. And then I started playing it, and it's not super difficult. It's just a pain in the ass because you die in one hit, but it's really fun. I'm enjoying it so far. I like the aesthetic of it. It's really cool. It reminds me gameplay wise a little bit of Rogue Legacy, which I love that game. So it's been really fun to play. I can't wait to get into some more of it probably later in the week. But yeah, Hollow Knight. What about you?
Assassin's Creed 2. You guys, I don't know what the fuck you're gonna play this on. Probably an Xbox if you have an Xbox.
It's on the Ezio collection's on PS4.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Xbox One.
Get the fucking Ezio collection and play fucking Assassin's Creed 2. It's one of the best goddamn games
you don't have to play Brotherhood and Revelations if you don't want to.
De Frenzia.
Yeah, he's my favorite assassin. Mainly because when you first meet him, he's just this little cocky son of a bitch.
Of course, Assassin's Creed 2 made by Ubisoft Montreal. I want to say it came out 2011. How right am I?
Probably not. 2009, November
God
17th.
damn it.
Oh, that game's anniversary is coming up. November 17th, 2009. Yeah.
Dude, I swear Caleb wasn't that young whenever.
Dude, the first game came out November 13th, 2007.
Yeah, see, I would have bumped everything up by 2 years. God damn it. Go play Assassin's Creed 2 if you've never played it.
I'd say it still remains one of the best, if not the best in the series, at least from a story
Get to
perspective.
assassinate people. And if you're a fan of Assassin's Creed and want to see where the roots go, it was not always this open world, crazy ass game that it is now, where it's got like these weird RPG
I mean, they're open
elements.
world. The maps just aren't as big.
Assassin's Creed 2 is not open world.
What do you mean?
It's not open world.
It is open world.
It's not.
Have you played it recently?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2 is not open world.
I know the first one wasn't.
The first one isn't. The second one isn't either. Open world. I don't think you know what open world is. Like the technical definition of open world. Remember how we had this conversation about Zelda being an RPG?
What's the definition of open world then?
Open world means that you can, like, everything's connected and you can go to it. It's not. It's all level based in this one. So like you go to Florence and then you go to Venice and it's almost like level based missions there, and you have like side shit that you can do, but it's not open world.
I just figured you can travel through the entire world that's placed before you. It's just certain regions are locked until you hit a point in the story.
Well, then levels would be open world by that definition. Right? Would they not?
But I mean, like, even when you're not in a mission, you can travel around the whole thing, do your little side shit, do the viewpoints and whatnot. Because that's how I assumed it was meant, that the map that's in front of you, you can explore every part of it. Maybe there's some parts you can't get to because you don't have like an item or a skill, but you can explore the world that's placed before you without having to just do, because it's not like level mission type thing. But I mean, if it's not by definition, then it's not by definition.
Checking it out.
Then I just assume that's what open world was being able to just explore the entire map that's presented to you. And if there is areas locked, it's just because you haven't gotten there in the story. Like how Ghost does it, where like it's open world and you can explore the entire region of the map that you're in, and then you go to the next one and the next one. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably wrong on that though. I assume that's what it meant, just based off the two words in the name. Excuse me. Then like I said, it's been a while since I've played it, so you could definitely be right on that. But I remember
we're gonna solve this off the
one
podcast, and then
yeah,
and
probably for the
then
best.
We'll come back and see who was right.
Find out next time
on Multitap. Thank you guys for listening. Remember, follow all the bullshit. Plug at GamesTechMM. More plugs. I love you guys.